So this is the second episode of the daily video. Now, if you didn't check out yesterday's episode, I would recommend pausing this one and go checking it out. In there, we kind of discussed how you can use food and exercise to boost how you feel, think, and look. We talked about how you might be tired throughout your day. You get grumpy, angry, depending on the time of the day. Around 2 p.m., you might crash. Well, you can actually use food and exercise to combat that. And then we talked about how you can use food and exercise to look better. So, anyways, just go check it out if you haven't. But, anyways, today in this video, we are going to talk about the first foundation of the new era of health, which is acquire the mind of a conqueror. Now, this is probably the most important foundation in the new era of health. The reason is because this is where you turn yourself into a man of action. Uh, Basically, the best way that I like to put it is there's a lot of workout programs and diet plans on the market, and you've probably bought in a few of them and have told yourself that you're going to commit to them. But after a few weeks, what happened? If you're like most people, you probably fell off after a week or two. Now, that's where this foundation comes into play. We need to have you acquire the mind of a conqueror. This foundation will turn you into a high performing beast so that you can stick to your workout plan. You can stick to your diet plan and you can annihilate all your goals in life. And the reality is, this is where you're going to be able to conquer your emotions and attitudes so that you're constantly in a fun, loving attitude and enjoy life. Now, basically, you've probably run in this situation where for New Year's, you told yourself you're going to stick to a workout or a diet plan, and after a few weeks, you fell off. And the reason is because that's your plan that you're using is never going to work. It's a broken model. You can't just tell yourself you're going to do something and go against how you're hardwired as a human. I say hardwired as a human because you're literally going against your subconscious programming and habits. Basically, how your brain works is you have two parts of your brain. Well, actually, you have three, but for the sake of this video, we're going to go with two. You have your left conscious or prefrontal cortex part of your brain, and then you have your right subconscious or reptilian part of the brain. Now, basically, 90 to 95% of your decisions you make throughout your entire day are done with your subconscious mind, and it gets you to take action through your habits. Now, when you tell yourself you're going to start working out and eating healthier, you're using your conscious brain to try and change years of habits and pretty much how your subconscious brain is programmed. And as you've likely discovered, that's a broken formula. It doesn't work. You can't just tell yourself you're going to do something and get it done if it goes against what you've formed a habit of. So, really, in this first foundation, acquire the mind of a conqueror, we reprogram your subconscious brain. And we do this through a few things. Obviously, we go over this a lot in the New Era of Health podcast. So if you want to go more in depth about learning how to do this, make sure to check out that. I think it's like episode 1, 2, and 5 would be the good episodes for you to check out. But really, what we do in here is make it so that you are able to stick to your word effortlessly. There's no internal debate of whether or not you should do something. So, for example, before I reprogrammed my brain to stick to my own word and become a high performing beast, I would always fall in this vicious battle where I'd tell myself I'd get home after work and start to cook food. But then I'd get home and I'd be exhausted and I wouldn't want to cook. And I ended up not cooking at all. Then, of course, I'd order some unhealthy food, stuff like that. But I'd see this pattern across my entire life. It would be like, oh, I tell myself I'm going to go get groceries, I end up not going to get groceries. I tell myself that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and none of it ever got done. But after I reprogrammed my brain, I became a man of action. If I told someone I was going to do something, it got done. If I told myself I was going to do something, it got done. There was none of that internal debate or bullshit in my head where I was getting an internal battle with myself. I would literally just do exactly what I said I was going to do. And when I did this, I became more productive. I accomplished more in life and I felt better about myself. I was getting shit done and I had more self worth. So, anyways, that's what the first foundation of the new era of health is about. If you want to reprogram your brain so that you're happier, accomplish more in life, and become fulfilled, then what I recommend you do is download the New Era of Health Master Plan. In here, it's going to give you a breakdown of all three of the foundations of the New Era of Health and more importantly, give you a step-by-step process so that you can reprogram your genes and brain so that you live a kick-ass life. So if you want that, click the link around this video.